Hello, everybody. We're back. We tried to burn down the computer that was processing all the feed for the stream because we had way too much going on it. So,
Trying to silence us. Illuminati confirmed.
yeah, I mean, George Soros sent through the interwebs a bug to burn us, burn the computer down. Just kidding.
It's the Koch brothers.
Yeah, Koch brother, Russia.
It's the Rothschilds.
No, what's the Bilderberg?
Bilderbergs. Yeah, the Bilderbergs. Man.
Anyway, so let's get back into it here. I think we're going to be pretty much done with gerrymandering and social media influence in the election. I think we've kind of hard to pick that one back up. So we're going to move on to our final topic of the night here before we sign off. Looks like as things are going here tonight, especially according to CNN projections here, looks like the GOP will lose the House by about 10 seats. Be about a 10-seat margin the other way. With that being the case, do you believe, guys, we're going to go around the table here and discuss, that Donald Trump has a better or worse chance with the House being in the adversarial party's hands here for the final 2 years of his first term compared to had the GOP retained the House, which it doesn't look like is going to happen anymore? Why I say that is why I think it will be easier for Donald Trump to win re-election is now he's no longer a single party government. He now has somebody to run against. He can now blame lack of progress on the wall, which is such a big issue for so many people, or lack of progress on a second round of tax cuts, or I don't know, pick another issue, because I can't get anything done because of these obstructionist Democrats. And I think it would be better for Republicans in congressional races the next time around. I think it'll be better for the president for his re-election campaign. And it'll be even better if the Democrats make the mistake of putting Nancy Pelosi back as Speaker of the House. Grown. And I think the Republicans have acknowledged that and realized that already, because I don't know what national videos have been going around or whatever, but the National Republican Party has been campaigning against Nancy Pelosi for the last month or two as you want to see this crazy old kook back in the Speaker of the House and back in the key position, 3 heartbeats away from the president or 2 heartbeats away from the presidency. If not, vote red. They acknowledge that that's kind of a, not necessarily they're in fear of her, but she's an easy target to hate. And honestly, I don't think is very representative of the current Democratic Party or especially how it's going. So it will cause internal chaos within the Democratic Party, and she's an easy villain for Republicans to vilify when it comes time to campaign again. Which, oh, by the way, the presidential campaign kicks off tomorrow for 2020.
It's been kicked off.
Well, it officially kicks off tomorrow. Why I'm saying that is, does anybody else have any thoughts on this? Josh, what do you think here?
I think it's a predetermined idea, and all we're doing by mentioning it is pointing out the basic aspects of the algorithm. I feel like it means nothing. Donald Trump was destined to win re-election. I don't see how he loses, quite honestly. Regardless of how.
Now that
the Democrats need him to win re-election, so they have time to impeach him. I mean, they haven't been able to pull it off.
Well, he's not gonna. He's to be impeached. He's not gonna be removed from office, though.
Yeah, it's up to the Senate.
I find it hilarious though that the Democrats need him to be reelected so they can impeach him. It's.
Oh, so you're saying they need another election to take the Senate?
Yeah. Right.
Hey, see, we told you it only took 6 years, but we did it.
So no, this is.
Sorry for blowing your.
Listen, I don't see how American presidents don't really lose re-election anymore.
The last one to not get 2 terms was HW, right?
HW, and
thanks Ross Perot.
Yeah, right. It's Ross Perot, basically. In essence, Ross Perot screwed it up, and also just.
And before that, was it like Gerald Ford was the only one before that?
But he that wasn't re-election because he was never elected.
That's true.
Before that, it was
I mean, Jimmy Carter didn't,
Carter
didn't
will
win
win.
re-election, but basically, for Jimmy Carter to not win re-election, it basically took a country on the brink of falling apart and arguably the best candidate of the 20th century running against him.
That being Reagan, right?
Yes. I mean, that in essence, historically, is what did it. I mean, Ronald Reagan beats Jimmy Carter, a sitting president.
And the thing
after this
They whooped
big
his
mess.
ass.
Well, the
After this big... No, I mean, he beat him decently, but compare that to how Ronald Reagan won re-election.
well, Josh,
Ronald Reagan won 425 to 10
Josh,
when he ran for re-election.
you and you could see that coming too, the way that Ronald Reagan ran the primary against
Right.
Gerald Ford. I mean,
Right.
you could see the Ronald Reagan. I hate using
almost
this term.
unseated a sitting president in
Yeah.
a primary.
Yeah. And I mean, Jimmy Carter at that point had to have been thinking before the election came around, like, oh shit, be going up against Ronald Reagan here,
Exactly.
who almost unseated a sitting president, in his own party. This is going to be fucking trouble.
And Jimmy Carter, despite I know people look fondly on him historically because he was a nice guy and stuff, but Jimmy Carter was a terrible president. Everybody thought so back then, by the way, even the Democrats. I know we said, oh, he did Habitat for Humanity, he did all this later. He's a nice guy. He's super sweet. We all love him. And, even some Republicans now have kind of like a nice place in their heart for him. But from 1977 to 1981, Jimmy Carter was a crap president. Nobody liked him then. So Ronald Reagan comes in. He beats Jimmy Carter after almost unseating a sitting president. Unprecedented. I mean, really, the best candidate in the 20th century. Whether you like him or not. I'm just talking by the numbers and
You would even call
historically.
it even better than like an FDR,
Yes.
who got
Don't
elected
add-
4 times.
No, don't ask Josh about FDR.
Well, I know that I don't like him either.
No, I mean, FDR was a great president. I don't like what he did a lot of times, and I definitely don't like the 4-term thing.
Well, there was nothing against it at the time.
But yeah, I mean, yes, I put Ronald
And the whole
Reagan
dying
even-
in office thing.
I put Ronald Reagan even above FDR in that case because FDR had World War II to fall back on. That's why people are voting for him. They don't want to unseat him during this cataclysmic war.
The war to end all wars,
Walter
yeah.
Mondale got 10 electoral votes. That's only 10 more than I got. And I didn't even run. I mean, that's
That's 10 more than I got, and I wasn't even alive yet.
right.
Hell, my parents weren't even. My parents were teenagers,
Really,
like 12.
I was 4. I was 4. I kind of remember it. I remember the Tigers winning the World Series better. But I was I was a little kid, a little boy. But even that stuff, I feel like it still works into the basic idea of it, but those are crazy circumstances. And they still don't really run against it. And even then, now you're talking about then, and now we're talking about now. And you're talking about 1980, and to me, it's only progressed further past that. George Bush Sr., yeah, he loses. The Ross Perot thing is huge. And also, it was a terrible campaign that, quite frankly, shows that he probably didn't want to win it. I mean,
This
When we
this
look
campaign occurred, by the way, just for reference, guys, when I was like 2.
yeah,
1 and 2 years old.
We're talking 1992.
Yeah, I was born in 91, so I
Okay,
was
so
1 or 2, 1
yeah,
years old.
We're talking 1992. I was voting in my 7th grade, mock election. And this is an election where, I mean, we look back now and there are personal letters written to each other that confirm this, that Barbara Bush was really sick of her husband being president, and George Bush maybe wasn't really crazy about the idea of being president again. And
Well,
Bill
think
Clinton
about it.
was
The other
a
thing,
great
he had already
candidate.
spent
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah, I mean,
he had already
Bill
spent
Clinton
8
was
years as a VP too.
right.
I mean, they've been living in these, houses across the street from each other on Pennsylvania Avenue for a long time. Bill Clinton's a good candidate, throwing the Ross Perot thing, and still a close election, by the way, and he loses, yeah. So there's that, but you heard a whole lot of people talking about how much Bill Clinton sucked. He was even impeached. You heard a whole lot of people talking about how George W. Bush sucked.
He won a second term.
Yeah. You heard a whole lot of people talking about how Barack Obama sucked.
He won a second term.
All of them.
By a bigger margin.
Terms. You're hearing it about Donald Trump now. He's going to win a second term, kids. It's going to happen.
You know what? For me, I'm not saying that Donald Trump is going to win re-election. I'm not saying he's going to lose it either. I think right now, and I think
way too much can happen in 2 years.
I think especially with a guy like Donald Trump.
Especially with this Twitter feed.
I mean, you never know. I mean, you never know.
To predict.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, would I be shocked if Donald Trump was reelected president? No. I wouldn't be shocked though if he's ousted, in the 2020 election either. I think that what we were shown back in 2016 only proves that all bets are off with an election where Donald Trump is running.
And it shows that the people in the media certainly don't know what they're talking about.
No, not when it comes to that. I look, as far as the Nancy Pelosi thing goes, I don't like Nancy Pelosi. I am on the left. I think Nancy Pelosi is part of the reason why Democrats lost to arguably one of the worst candidates in American presidential history. It's that mentality that they ran one of the worst candidates in.
It was a race to the bottom of the race to the bottom of the candidate, the presidential candidate.
And
power
I think
chart,
if I don't know what the Democrats are saying to themselves if they go, and they will take control of the House tonight. Mm-hmm. That's
it's happening.
That's essentially a foregone conclusion at this point.
But we knew that before. Tonight. If the Democrats put Nancy Pelosi back as Speaker of the House, then they are asking for, in 2 years, they're asking for Donald Trump to be elected president again. You cannot do this. And this is the biggest thing that I hate about this whole situation right here, because, like I said, Democrats, the Democratic voting constituent, people on the left were willing to go with somebody outside the box in Bernie Sanders. They were willing to do it.
They certainly were.
Mitt Romney has been declared the winner in Utah. Not that's a surprise.
No.
Not a surprise, but interesting, though, and could play into a lot of scenarios that we've been discussing.
But and I lost my train of thought here, but if you put Nancy Pelosi back in as Speaker of the House, you are giving more fodder to the Republicans.
Absolutely.
When it comes to trying to re-elect Donald Trump as president. Everything that you've tried before, throw it out. Mm-hmm. Because you lost to the worst candidate, possibly,
ever.
Who do you think they should run, Adam? The Democrats against Donald Trump.
Who do you think?
Well, I want to see somebody outside the Democratic norm here. And that's what I was getting at here, is Democrats were willing to put, and I'm talking about the voters, they were willing to put somebody who was outside the Democratic, straight line of thinking there in Bernie Sanders, but the
party establishment.
But the DNC was too afraid of that. They were too afraid of running somebody who wasn't afraid of the term socialist.
And they were in bed with the Clintons.
And they were. They were.
Don't
they
rule
were.
that out either.
They are.
Wow.
What?
Both the Florida governor and Florida Senate races are about 55,000 votes apart each.
Oh, God.
Republican winning both with 99% in.
Thanks, Florida. You're gonna.
So you're gonna lose. Well, you're gonna keep the Republican governorship, and you're going to lose yet another senator out of Florida. it looks
You know,
like.
do you know what I always kind of feel like? I like hearing about governor races in other states, but a big part of me really feels like anyone that says anything about a governor race, including myself, should instantly just be told, mind your own business. you know what I mean? Like it's
really doesn't concern us. Like, you know, I mean, if people in Florida want a Republican or a Democrat or a Libertarian or a Vegetarian, that's their choice. That's their choice.
I was talking...
like Senate. It's their choice too for Senate, but it affects us though, right?
Because they set national policy. Yeah.
Yeah, but the governor, it's like mind your own business, pal. It doesn't matter what they wanted, who they want to make their governor. You know, that's
and Adam and I were kind of talking about that same point earlier. It's just like state level judges. It's like I don't really care because I'm very unlikely to end up in the court system as a criminal. I'm really unlikely at this point in my life to end up in a civil complaint in the court. And if they do something fucky, the federal courts will take care of it.
That's in the dictionary too. Fucky.
See, as someone who's less likely to avoid being put in front of one of the judges as you guys, I still don't care. None of them.
Well,
are nice.
you're not gonna pull that. Hey, I voted for you.
No, I'm not. I'm really not.
Can I point out?
You can do that anyway. It's not like they're gonna know.
I always jump back to the historical aspects of this stuff in a lot of ways, but to me, I feel like the Democrats, if they want to unseat Donald Trump, should absolutely be putting somebody who is fresh.
I believe that Jared. Let me keep going.
Okay. I think the Democrats should put somebody fresh out there, somebody young, somebody with fresh ideas, a Bernie Sanders, but not 100 years old.
I know that's the thing. It's weird saying somebody new when you're talking about a guy.
And Bernie, by the way, Bernie Sanders is too old to run for president now. Okay, I know there's no law about that.
You know what?
Hey Adam, put the camera on me. I got to do my Bernie. The 1%. I mean, it's over like this all the time.
No, I agree. I agree with you, Jess. I don't want to see Bernie Sanders. I want to see one of his disciples.
Sure, and
run
in
his place.
But something kind of strange historically. We all know that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Against Donald Trump. Do you know how many people in U.S. history, whenever they've lost the popular vote and then ran the following time, 4 years later, do you know how many times they've lost?
All of them.
0.
Really?
0. Every time someone has
How many times has it happened outside of George Bush?
George Bush is the exception, but it's not an exception because Al Gore didn't run.
Okay.
So we're looking at Grover Cleveland, Andrew Jackson, Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's so long ago. It's hardly relevant.
Hold on.
Is it? I don't think it's irrelevant at all, actually.
One thing, what I was going to mention here a second ago, but Jared Polis wins the Colorado governorship, first openly gay governor.
Oh, okay.
Elected or governor.
Okay.
So.
Oh, what state is that?
Colorado.
Okay. See what pot does to you?
Yeah, the old Reefer Madness commercials.
Yes.
No, that's unprecedented. That's cool.
That is cool. That is cool. That's very, very unprecedented. We've never seen that. So no, that's good for him. And good for Colorado. Hopefully he works out. How does he feel about the... I don't know much about this. How does he feel about the marijuana thing in Colorado? Because I know the former governor was opposed to it.
Ligenhooper or whatever?
Who was... And I know it was a Democrat who actually was opposed to it in Colorado initially. Democratic governor. But I'm not pretending to know everything about the, Colorado politics here. But I just...
We should get Aaron on the line here.
Yeah, we probably should. But no, I know, Dorf, these are going way back, but historically, whenever someone has lost the popular vote...
And ran again, they win.
They have won. Every time. So now you hear
Democratic strategists coming out saying Hillary Clinton's still our best chance, which I think is nuts. Because I think it's nuts, but I hear Democratic strategists saying that, and I know the history, and I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe it's not nuts.
Another pickup in Kansas, by the way.
Maybe history. Oh, she's cute.
Who? This is the Kansas. Oh, Sharice Davids. She's pretty. She's pretty. That's a pretty chick.
Josh's gonna want pictures next to next to the
Yeah,
candidate.
Josh is going to lead a ballot initiative.
You guys saw her, right? She's cute.
Everybody will be required to put a headshot.
Headshot.
Dean Phillips from Minnesota, not cute. Max Rose, no thanks. I mean, nice smile, but that chick though, she was.
Wait, no, this is good. This is good. Keep going.
Keep going, commentate.
Sharice Davids from Kansas though, she's pretty, man. She's got to be up there for hottest chick in the house. Who's hotter? Do you guys look at me like I'm crazy?
I
Who's
don't know.
hotter?
I don't keep track of this shit.
She's pretty girl. Yeah.
Josh is now all of a sudden
that's a
thinking
good looking
about.
chick. What can I
Josh
say?
is all of a sudden thinking about switching political affiliations.
No. Hey, I've never married a Republican. All the times I've been married.
I'm shocked you've been married so many times.
I know. There's a lot of them.
I figure there'd be a Republican in there somewhere.
Josh
No.
needs to pull out his Rolodex to confirm political affiliations on this one. Yeah.
No. All marriages. One ended up being a Republican later.
Josh actually hasn't been with too many people.
Okay.
Really.
Wait till I meet Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm gonna spit some game.
Hi. Do you think taxation is
Well,
theft?
of course I haven't. I mean, there isn't too many.
He's not gonna be.
I've been married most of my adult life. I got married when I was like 12, and then. For the
An
first
arranged
time.
marriage?
Yeah.
I kind of want to bring that back up again. Honestly.
Sharice Davids, look, dial her up. That is a beautiful woman. She's gorgeous.
Josh has seen one headshot for 3 seconds
What?
and is
How did you
continuing to
need
go
to
on
see?
this.
How did you need to see? What?
Oh, killing me.
All these other dopes up there didn't look attractive.
I mean, it could be Sheldon Whitehouse.
I don't know. That's Sharice Davids from Kansas.
Sheldon Whitehouse is an ugly man.
I mean, I probably wouldn't vote for her, but
She doesn't.
if I buy her a
she
Coors Light, though, if I saw her
find her at some bar in DC or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, if I ran into her, name me a city in Kansas. I'm drawing a blank here.
Topeka,
Topeka. If I ran into her at a
Lawrence,
if I ran into
Dodge City. That's all I got.
her that's more than I had. If I ran into her at a local pub, local brewery in Topeka, I'd shoot a Coors Light in her direction.
Let's name a specific brewery in Topeka, Kansas.
I think they've got to have a Buffalo Wild there or something, right?
Happy Bassett Brewing Company.
Yeah, I know.
Iron Rail Brewing or Norseman Brewing. Which one?
If I ran into her, I'd pop a squat next to her, buy her some boneless wings. It's Thursday, right? Isn't that the boneless day at Buffalo Wild? I don't want to get too expensive.
You can tell we've been on the air too long, and it's now
boneless Thursdays. So.
now. Yes, it's now. Well, it's Wing Tuesday too.
Okay. Well, it depends on if it's a Tuesday or a Thursday.
It's now crossed into theater of the absurd here. So
Hey, you're not gonna get this in any of the major news.
No,
now.
you certainly are not.
commentary about which a now newly minted congressional candidate or congressional person who has just received congressional office, which brewery you take them out to on a hypothetical date in Topeka. It's riveting content you turn to us here at the Empire Media. You can't get it anywhere else.
Just saying, she's a pretty girl.
Where were we?
I don't know.
Donald Trump getting reelected?
Do we just want to end on that?
I want to look up some information. I'm just kidding.
The whole idea. I think we can kind of say pretty affirmatively that a quote blue wave probably isn't going to happen. It's more like going to be a blue white cap. That makes
I
sense.
don't think anybody expected that. I mean, nobody could have expected.
Well, there was a lot of people cheering for it, not necessarily.
Sure, I
expecting
mean, a
for
lot
it.
of people were cheering for it. I mean, just like there were a lot of people cheering, a lot of Republicans cheering that they would keep the House. But
Red tsunami.
I mean,
Heard
real,
that all the
I mean,
time.
Truth be told, nothing out of the ordinary happened tonight.
By the way, Ted Cruz is now up like 142,000 votes. So
But still, as Adam pointed out, this is a close election for somebody that was at one point the savior of Texas.
well, remember, this is only the first time he's had to run for re-election. He's only a one-term senator, so it's not
That's
like
true. That's
you'd be
true.
knocking off a guy that's held the seat for
But-
several decades.
But he is a Republican senator running for re-election in Texas.
How do you lose, right?
That's not like a real rough spot to be in.
And the Republican that is running didn't have sexual assault allegations levied against him. I mean,
Yeah, no, he's pretty clean.
yeah. Except his dad killed Kennedy, and that's not.
Well, and then his college roommate says he was kind of a dick.
Well, who wasn't a dick in college? That's not even a
And whose
thing.
dad didn't kill Kennedy?
Yeah. You're quoting. This is Donald.
Did you
Trump
see,
stuff
by the
that
way, he
you are-
posted a meme a couple days ago, like Happy Halloween as like the Zodiac killer?
Oh yeah, and he's the Zodiac killer.
Nice.
Actually, Beto, come on, man. You're
Everybody
running
knows-
against.
Ted Cruz's dad didn't kill Kennedy. George Bush Sr. killed Kennedy. Everybody knows that.
All right, we've all right. We're going off the deep end
Wait a
here.
second, we're not done yet.
Oh man, do we need to call Ed in here for an emergency deep issues podcast?
Well,
No,
it is.
if
It
you
is.
listen to the Deep Issues podcast, you know that the driver killed Kennedy. Everybody knows that. Watch the video; it's undeniable.
This is a Pruder film. Was that one?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I think it's time to get out of here, guys. It's been fun. Looks like the Republicans are actually going to pick up a couple seats in the Senate. Likely, based on my math, to end up with likely 53 or 54 at the end of the day. At least, potentially 55. But they would likely lose the House by about a dozen. So we will be back to split party government come January in January. So
Split party government, which sounds like such a good thing.
it's a great way to get nothing done.
Yeah, but you can pretty much just bank on the
a lot
fact
of
that
political
nothing
dick
will get done.
measuring and not a lot of progress on anything. So, all right, thanks for joining us here for this combo episode of Politics of the Empire and XCast presented by the Empire Media. Do we have a next scheduled politics podcast? Because I know you guys will be on next week for XCast. Do we have another one
We'll be
scheduled?
on next week for Deep Issues.
Deep Issues is next week. What do you have your deep issue picked out yet?
We don't.
Well, actually, tune in this Thursday because there technically
Yes.
is.
Oh,
going
there is going to be another edition of the XCast Thursday. I will
No,
not be.
no, no, no,
It's not
no.
XCast. What
This
it?
is this coming up this Thursday is actually technically going to be a Deep Issues. But we will be doing our Halloween special since we weren't able to do it last week. We will be doing it this Thursday, though. So tune into that. You're only going to be able to tune into that, though, on our Facebook page live.
Yes.
So
Okay.
tune into it there. But we will have it.
Dorf, you
uploaded
gonna be there
to
for that?
I will not.
Okay, but Sean will, correct?
Sean Bell will be there, and maybe Ed.
Hopefully Ed Zaharsky
Hopefully
from
Ed
Deep
Zaharsky
Issues
will
as
be
well.
there.
But definitely me and Adam and Sean. And no, it'll be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. Creepy, fun stuff going down. And then next Tuesday, we will have a Deep Issues, and we will announce what the topic for Deep Issues will be on Thursday, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But as far as the next politics goes, I'm guessing maybe before the month is over.
Okay.
Maybe. Actually,
Yeah, we usually don't pick these things ahead of time. The election one, because it was election night, was pretty easy target to pick.
And our
so
next Politics of the Empire show is going to be on location in Kansas.
at Iron Rail Brewing, we'll be live streaming Josh's date with I've already forgot her name. So
Shanice Davids.
Yes.
yes, that one.
Future wife.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll talk to y'all next time.